Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Shadowrun Dragonfall. I don't know, my voice was being extra cranky. A little. Well, maybe you didn't really feel it. It felt kind of awful though. I don't know what happened. Alright, so the team assembled and we're supposed to just assemble with them or something because as technology has been destroyed or something. Hi, I'm here. What's up? Worry? What's up? Some publicity of new information. I'm afraid that the news isn't good. Go on. 4 years ago, a large shipment of a highly lethal radioactive bioweapon disappeared en route to a storage facility in Dresden. The weapon was designated X-15. I have traced the path of the missing shipment. It was delivered to the Harfeld Manor. Wow, that sounds horrible. It is. I've heard of this stuff before. Back in the service, we called it Doom. I've never run across it in the wild, but I've heard enough horror stories to know that I don't want to. The stories that you've heard are correct. This Doom is an extremely dangerous substance. I've been reading up. To this day, the story of Doom remains a cautionary tale in biotech circles. Monoclonal antibody technology is strictly regulated now, and this substance is one of the reasons why. What does this stuff do exactly? Doom kills by destroying a host's muscle tissue via radioactive decay. Each individual Doom antibody is bound to a radioactive bismuth-212 isotope. When introduced into a host, these antibodies bind to surface-level muscle tissue. The tissue is then killed with alpha radiation. This process repeats itself until the host wastes away and dies. Jesus! I've heard that Doom was deployed in a couple of border skirmishes back in '41. After seeing what it did to people up close, the UCA just passed a unilateral ban on the stuff. If that doesn't tell you how bad it is, nothing will. Okay, so I hesitate to ask, but what would a dragon want with this drag? Nothing good. And that much goes without saying. This development worries me, Simplicity. It worries me greatly. Wasn't the dragon killer suffering from something similar to this? Maybe he got poisoned by it. Yeah? I was similar in this one. This is interesting, scary even, but it doesn't actually change anything. I mean, it ups the stake if the Fire Wing's allowed to carry out her plans, whatever those might be, but we're gonna stop her before that happens. That was always the plan, as far as I'm concerned. It's still the plan now. I agree with Dietrich. We need to focus on what's in front of us. Whatever the dragon's larger plans might be, the fact is that she is after us. We shouldn't let ourselves get distracted by anything else. Yes, I concur. For the time being, we must continue forward, and that means you must continue working toward raising Alyssa's fee. I'll leave the matter in your capable hands. When you've acquired the necessary funds and are ready to head back out to the rabbit hole, let me know. From there, we will discuss our next steps. Oh, maybe this happens not because we finished the one mission, but maybe because finishing the mission assembled the funds, and this is the trigger, like, okay, you've got that information. We give him that information, and then the next step is you tell him when you want to go to the big mission, and you go to the big mission. Well, it's not a mission. It's an information talk. Good. If you need me, I'll be getting prepped for the next run. Right behind you, love. Come on, Gloria, let's go. Dietrich is getting ready over here, I guess. Greetings. Is there something that I can do for you? Oh, let me see. These files, I can't read them, but I have my suspicions. I believe that you walked out of that facility with the very information that Frau Muller wanted you to destroy. I strongly suggest that you delete this. From what Muller told us, this information is dangerous. But if you're determined to know what it says, you could try to talismonger all year none. I have no doubt he can translate for you. Good point. I'm too curious to just delete it. I'm going to go check the talismonger. I was going to anyway because there's probably new spells or something. I don't think I've ever tried this. If you have questions about your teammates, I'd recommend checking your mission computer. I know that Monica... Oh, yeah, well, yeah, okay, well, sorry. Alright, Dietrich, you got something? I'd like to hear more about the Night of Rage, I suppose. Alright, boss, we can talk about it. So I already mentioned Berlin's punks and anarchists joined forces to fight off the racists, right? After a long bloody fight, we beat them. What I didn't mention is how I figure into all this. I'm an anarchist at heart, always have been, but at the time I fit squarely into the punk camp. I was 32 at the time. Mesa Camp was still touring. Not as much as we did when we were kids, but we had a following. I guess I was sort of an elder statesman for the scene. When we rallied to fight the racists, my followers came along for the ride. A bunch of young kids, and all full of piss and vinegar and the immortality of youth. I was full of that good old Dragon Slayer spirit, pissed off and itching for a fight, and so I led those kids into the fray. They waded into the riot right alongside me, yelling and screaming with their fists in the air. I don't remember a whole lot of the fight itself, boss, but I do remember the aftermath. All the kids that followed me had grown up listening to my music. They had all of my attitude, but none of them had my magic. Youthful enthusiasm is no defense against a knife or a handgun. I left the punk scene for all the reasons I told you, boss, but there was a bigger reason I saw in all those kids' broken bozzies. This road that I'm on, it leads to the grave. I've got the power to make it a leisurely trip, but make no mistake, this is where I'm headed. Like, aren't we all gonna die? Like, that's what we do as a species. Those kids tried to follow my footsteps, and they wound up sprinting ahead of me instead. Better for me to stay out of the public eyes and stick to the shadows. My stint as a role model was ill-advised. I don't know. I think he's harder on himself than he should be. I suppose he's also going to suggest the talismonger, but out of curiosity. No idea, boss, but if you want my advice, I'd say that you should delete that information right away. You saw what those blood mages were capable of, whatever they were working on, what a project Bloodland was. You should let it stay buried. Okay. Any thoughts about the last one you'd like to share? You know, boss, living in Berlin, I never thought I'd get the chance to go up against a blood mage. Guess today was my lucky day. No, it wasn't. You weren't there, but sure, whatever. Not sure how I feel about you freeing those clones. It might have been kind of to put them out of their misery. It was your call, though. I don't want it to be my crime. They're probably gonna fail and just suffer, like you say. It's very likely, because there's no support around them. You know, it's like back in the day, it's easy to just say, well, free the slaves, right, but then have a little bit of support so that they can find themselves a place and find a job and stuff. Otherwise, they're just going to be a bunch of homeless people that have nothing, right? Because they had nothing. Freeing the slaves is a very important thing to do, but it's also like you need to also like give them a chance. Yeah, they're probably going to get wrecked. But at least I didn't wreck them. Morally speaking. I mean, you could argue that I did, but like, Alright, nothing right now. We'll ask about Alexander another time. I doubt he has anything from him anyway. Iger! Are you gonna talk to me this time? This is in best times. Are you on edge? What's happening? This. Okay. An orc.
His name is Yuli Kozlov, but he's better known by his handle, the Engineer. He's a mercenary, ex-Spetsnaz, one of the best in the field. I ran up against him in my KSK days.
Alright, tell me more.
His specialties are social engineering and wet work. In practice, he spends most of his time paving the way for organized crime syndicates to seize new territory. He sets up bribes, takes out key members of the opposition, forges alliances with existing street gangs, all the groundwork that a syndicate needs. He's extremely bad news, simplicity. My contact spotted him in Shadowrun. Exactly. I've seen what the engineer can do up close. My KSK unit tracked him a few years ago. I had him in the sights of my rifle, but I was ordered to hold fire. We couldn't afford to give away our position. To this day, I regret obeying that order. I saw what happened to the town he was softening up after the syndicate moved in. Damn bless it. I have to stop him before it's too late. What happened to that town? It can't be allowed to happen again in Shadowrun.
Sure. It's her thing mission, and she's gonna get a special power-up. Go for it.
The safest bet would be a Russian syndicate, but there's no telling. His client list is longer than you'd expect. Well, I know for a fact that he has worked for mafia groups operating inside and outside of Russia, and he put in a lot of time with the Lobachevsky syndicate. He's taken contacts with the Triads as well. My contacts tell me that he's even done a few jobs for Tamarus.
Alright, I guess that's a hell of a resume. I have no idea. It's a bunch of names to me.
Yeah, it is. So, long story short, I'm gonna have to step out for a mission or two. I know how important it is that we resolve the Fierschringer situation, I get it, but I can't just sit back and let this happen. I won't.
I mean, I'm down to just go with her, yeah?
Alright, fearless leader, you're right, I could use the help, but the others, they can't know about this. This is going to have to be a quiet job, 2 people max. You sure you're prepared for this? If you can't hold up your end, I'll be better off on my own.
I'm solid.
Yeah, I know you are. Grab your things and meet me at Der Wainkiller. I've got a contact who's gonna join us there, and he can help us figure out our next step.
Alright! The Fountain of Wisdom has a quest for us. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Hey, glory!
What is it? Oh, right, because she told us she was a Satan worshipper for a while, and now she thinks we're gonna hate her. So, now that you know what I've done, what I am, are you here to tell me off? I wouldn't blame you if I were you. I just wanted to see how you're doing. Not great. Struggling. But how you'd expect. I guess this is the one then. Yeah, what's that? Okay, all of these are like, do you want us to do something about the Harrow boy? And I love it. Yes, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and every time that I've gotten close to making a decision, I've turned and run away. No more running. I'm ready to face this thing, but I can't do it alone. I'm going to need your help. Yeah, that's the idea. Alright, if we're going to do this, we'll need to be clear on what our goal is. There are a lot of innocent people in that place, lost street kids who got sucked in by Marta and the other girls like her. Saving them won't be easy, but it feels like the right thing to do. But then there's also Harrow to consider. I want that man dead. Lord knows he deserves it. And if we don't make killing him our top priority, he might be get away from us. If that happens, if he runs, he'll eventually start up another cult somewhere else where we can't find him, and all of this will have been for nothing. We're likely to run into other complications as well, so I think that we need to make a decision here up front. What would you do in my place? Rescue the kids or take down Harrow? I don't think that we can manage both. I mean, I think, roleplay-wise, this is what I do. Well, this is what my character does. This is the nicest one, because you don't know what's gonna happen, right? Saving the people there should be the priority. But I think that's what my character does. Harrow needs to die. I don't want any other kids hurt or killed, but Harrow, the bastard, has to pay for what he did to me. He has to pay for what he did to all of us. I won't let this happen again. He needs to die. Alright, you're damn right. So I got two missions. Alright, well, I can't ask them about the last run. I should do that before I talk to them though. Before we go talk to Mr. Idiot, let's check the computer. No, I'm too curious for that. Oh. One last one? That's all you're gonna get. Alright, well, there's one more DVD then. Find that this subcontract? Shrutty? Oh, okay, well, good of you to credit where credit is due. Open the jobs directory. Claim payment for the thing. You've fled the country or otherwise unavailable. Alright, well, good for you. Assuming unavailable doesn't mean dead. Yvonne Jimenez. Alright. She gave me her real name. That's surprising. I am curious to see the status of the Alice Fund now. Yeah, we got it. Yeah, not yet. We're doing friend missions first. Anything happening in the BBS? Kaboom! Oh yeah, as the facility. Of course they're talking about that. Only Shadowrunners have that sense of flair? Hell yeah. Well, I did do it with the power spike. Come on. Wait, 6 months only? Goddamn. Cost millions to build. Well, fuck him. Hey, we were paid. Also, I'm a mage. I got it. Oh, we did get paid for that. We did use a power spike, but like, you know. Some Bemona folks. Oh, it's the slaves, the whatever, the VAT dudes. They're in shock. Yeah. Yeah, that's them. Okay, so some hospitals took them under, yeah, guinea pigs. That's what they were. So the hospitals took care of them for a bit, but then they're not like... That won't help them completely. We'll see. Oh, somebody needs to find his daughter. Oh boy. Worried Mother 4. Oh boy. How'd you even get in here? Paid good money. Oh boy, that's not how it works, Worried Mother. Not money. A classic. Escaped wage slave? LOL. Yeah. Barely managed to bug out my apartment after a hit squad came knocking. Right. RF blockers? Sure. Read Tolstoy? Usually rule of threes.